Greetings, esteemed viewers. I am Brian of the PixelCast squad, and today I'm doing something a little different. Um, I don't know what I'm going to call this. Maybe a Pixel Podcast or a PixelCast or a Pod Pixel or Pixel Talk or something. You'll see in the title when I ultimately decide, and then change it a million times when Ariel and Austin inevitably protest. But what I'm doing today is I'm going to just talk about, something that's in gaming news. The thing I'm going to talk about today is the new Smash Bros. Game that's going to come out later this year, I think it was. They said in the E3 trailer that it was going to come out in 2018, so I don't know. Do we have a release date yet? I don't actually know. Let me Google that really quickly. But what I'm going to do right here is I'm just going to talk about my thoughts. Okay, December 7th. Okay. Yeah. Anyway, just going to talk about my thoughts on Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, how the marketing has been going, the new features the game is going to have, all those things, just when I think about it. And you can just have this as background noise if you actually care what I think. Well, I thank you. I thank you for such things. I don't understand why you care, but I'm glad you do. At any rate, let's get started. So the first thing that people were kind of thinking about when this was first announced was, I guess, if this was going to be a totally new game or if it was going to be a port. And as far as I understand it, the debate is still kind of going on with this. I'm honestly on the fence because, on the one hand, the engine is clearly the same. A lot of the character designs are very similar. Probably a lot of the movements are very similar. And in the same way, when they ported Mario Kart 8 from the Wii to the Switch, everything looks. There are a lot of parallels. However, my own personal argument is that they are obviously tweaking a lot of things. They're tweaking a certifiable shit ton of things, from probably with balancing issues that we had in the last game to just every little detail, the moves, the frame data, all these things that they're just that they have to change. And all these characters that they're adding, we still haven't gotten all the characters yet. The last one they announced was King K. Rool, which I knew a lot of people wanted. I personally want Banjo and Kazooie. That's the one I want. And maybe some other Sonic characters like Shadow or Tails. And Waluigi, of course. Everybody wanted Waluigi. I shed a tear for Waluigi. But in any case, they're doing a lot of work on this. A lot of work. And, not that whether something is a port or not has to depend exclusively on whether or not a lot of work was put into, the coding aspects of it. But I feel like this new game is going to be a pretty distinct experience from the last one, just because of all these changes that they're making and all this content that they're adding. Furthermore, with the just sheer ambition of this project that they've embarked on, having every single character that has ever appeared in a Smash Bros. Game previously, plus however many they're planning on adding. Now, the picture where they add somebody every time they reveal a new character, and they do that thing where they scroll around the picture and they go like zing, and the new character shows up. Now that picture's getting pretty crowded. It's getting pretty crowded. It's rivaling a Where's Waldo page type thing. In fact, somebody should go ahead and do that. Put Waldo in the picture somewhere, and then let people have at it. Maybe it doesn't have to be Waldo. It could be Waluigi. Where's Waluigi? Somebody do that, please. Somebody do that. If I had talent, I probably would, but I don't. I'm just here talking into a microphone on the internet to people. But anyway, that picture's getting pretty crowded, so I don't anticipate we're going to get too terribly many more characters. I could be wrong, because, they can always make the picture wider at the last second, or something along those lines. It's like, they could do, like, the last time they do a reveal, it'd be like 20 characters. And then they just make the picture wider and just add all those 20 characters on the edges. I think that would be pretty funny. But in any case, even though, we're probably not going to get that many more new characters, this is just a lot of work for them already. And I don't blame them one bit for not wanting to rebuild the engine from the ground up. If they were doing that, I can't imagine, just the amount of work that would... Well, yes, I can, because they did that between every single game up to now. And let's look at the release dates. Smash Bros. Release dates. Okay, so the first Super Smash Bros. Came out in 1999, then the next one 2001. Then Brawl was 7 years later, 2008, and the Smash Wii U and 3DS was 2014, and Smash Ultimate was 2018. Now, the longest, I guess, gap then was between Melee and Brawl, which is 7 years. The gap between this current game, and the last one, it was 4 years. Now, I'm not privy to all of Nintendo's operations. I don't have a man on the inside, and I don't have an uncle who works at Nintendo, so I don't know for sure if, they were working on this game, non-stop. And, I'm pretty sure that they weren't, because, they're doing things like DLC and balancing patches, and they were actively supporting Smash Wii U and 3DS for a while. I stopped playing a couple of years ago, so I'm not exactly sure, when everything stopped, but I feel like they've been working on at least the concepts for this game, for a while. And undoubtedly, if they were going to change the engine, rebuild it from the ground up, then we wouldn't be getting it this year. There's no way. Either we wouldn't be getting it this year, or we wouldn't have anywhere close to this much content. In all things considered, they don't need to change the entire engine in order to change a lot of the game mechanics anyway. Some of those things are customizable within the game itself. Like, we can set damage ratios, like how far you get thrown, as a function of how much damage you have. And those are things we can change. They could probably go in and make people fall faster or run faster or do whatever without doing a significant overhaul of the engine. I know a lot of problems people have with Brawl, myself included, was that it was too damn floaty. That's a pretty common sentiment. And coming off of Melee, which was tight, and sometimes it could get a little chaotic, and I feel like a lot of the times characters felt a little bit too heavy at times, but for the most part, it was a pretty solid fighting experience, and it had I liked it a lot. And Brawl was pretty much a step down for me in terms mechanically wise, not in terms of content. It had so much stuff, but it's just the fighting part. I thought it was a step down. Then we got Smash Bros. For Wii U and 3DS, and I felt like that was kind of, in between Brawl and Melee in terms of the fighting mechanics. Now, I have my issues with the Wii U one. Mainly, I thought it was a little too easy to get back to the edge. And I was never good at gimping. For those of you who don't know, gimping is when you hurl yourself off the stage and try to prevent the person who you knocked off, presumably, from getting back to the ledge. And and I was never good at that. So, I would just kind of rely on, just hitting them far enough that, you know, that they would just die anyway. And I would try. It's not like I would just sit there and wait, but I would miss more often than not. And I played Yoshi, who has no recovery move, just the jumping. So, I was a little bit of a pansy, I will admit. But, I would try to meteor, I try to disrupt them, but I was just never very good at it. But even if I was, I still think it was it's a little too easy to get back onto the ledge. I do. Other than that, though, I can live with it. Like, I wish it was a little faster, a little closer to Melee, but it's definitely a step up from Brawl. And that's another thing, the frame data. I wish moves came out just a tad faster. Because how Smash Brothers is, and how a lot of fighting games are, I think. I haven't played too many other ones besides Smash Brothers, but it seems to me like at a certain level it becomes less about reaction and more about prediction. Prediction and execution, rather. Which means if two people have a reaction time above a certain threshold, then they can pretty much react to anything that the game can throw at them, because the game has a maximum speed at which things can come out, right? Like I attack you and you shield and then you try to counter me. Like, I have more than enough time to respond. Because I know it's coming, first of all, but secondly, even if I didn't know it was coming, I could just assume it's coming and do something about that. But I can go so far as getting out of the way, like roll dodging or jumping, just because I have that much time to react. Whereas like say in a regular fight, like an actual fight between two people, you gotta be fast, man. And a lot of people don't know what they're doing. But you rarely do you see, like, I don't know, a boxing match or an MMA match or even a street fight where one person or both of them are right on top of each other and no one gets hit. I find that, I don't want to get too far into, fighting philosophy here, but I find that, most people get hit, and the better person is just the one who gets hit less and hits more. Like, you rarely, and that's pretty obvious. It's pretty obvious, like in Smash Brothers 2, generally you're going to get damaged eventually. Of course you are. But why that happens, though, that's the difference. In a real fight, you get hit because somebody did something and you didn't have time to react to it. Whereas in Smash Brothers, is somebody did something crafty enough to get around your defenses. Usually that's how it is. And that for me, that became more of a problem with Brawl rolled around, because again, everything was so slow compared to Melee. That, and I don't want to come off as like a Melee fanboy or anything. Like, Brawl has its merits. I liked Smash Wii U quite a bit, mechanically as well. Just my favorite game right now, out of the ones that come out, are Smash Wii U. Just because I think it has the perfect balance, not the perfect balance, but a better balance between mechanics and content. But if I'm just going off of fighting mechanics, Melee all the way, just because of the speed that I was talking about. Brawl just does not do it for me. But what I was talking about before I went off on this tangent so much was that they can tweak the parameters of how the game plays without completely scrapping and rebuilding the engine. And if they can do that, I don't see any reason why they shouldn't. Because the Wii U was, the first Nintendo console that had HD graphics, and the Switch has HD graphics as well. Like, we don't need... The Smash Wii U looked fine, as far as I'm concerned. It looked pretty good. I like the art style a lot more than Brawl. Brawl is going too hyper realistic, if you ask me. But I like the designs of the characters. I like the aesthetics. I like the color popping. I like basically everything about Smash Wii U. How it looked. And I feel like it's not a problem if Smash Switch looks pretty similar, right? Because it's not like the Switch is that much more powerful than the Wii U anyway, so it's not like we could take such an enormous leap in graphic fidelity that it would look much different, even if they were trying to make it look different within the same art style. So we already established they don't necessarily need to change, as far as I'm concerned, they don't need to change the art style. They don't really need to change a lot of animations, although I'm sure that they did change a lot of aspects of some animations. I saw in the first Smash Direct, you were talking about, I punch and a little fireball comes out, or a little fireball streak thing comes out, and that didn't happen before, and hits have more weights, and things along those lines. And I'm just like, alright, cool. That's fine, whatever. Because, the main things I care about as of now are the fighting mechanics and the content. I don't think I'm going to be disappointed with the content at all. They are adding an obscene amount of it. just a ridiculous amount of stuff. And, from characters to stages to music. If you watch the last Smash Direct, they really emphasized, hey guys, we are putting so much shit, just all the shit into this game. Alright? Okay? And we're still only gonna charge $60 for that. $60 for all this shit! Remember that. Remember that? Next time you get mad at us overpricing something. I don't know when that's gonna be, but just keep that in mind. Just keep that in mind. Just keep in mind. That's what they're thinking. Maybe even Sakurai, I wouldn't be surprised if this is his last go around, like his last hurrah. And he's trying to go out with a bang. I think it's pretty clear that he's trying to do that. And, I'm not too angry about that. I can't blame him. I can't blame him. Dealing with Smash Bros. Fans is hard. I don't know. You got difficulties dealing with all fan bases, but Smash Bros. Fans, they like Smash. They like their Smash a certain way, and it's especially difficult because once you come into the competitive scene, how many characters are we rocking in Smash Bros. Wii U? Let me check that. Number of characters in Smash 4. 58. There are 58 characters. Now, a lot of those are repeats, of course. And, they added the whole Echo Fighter concept so that we wouldn't bitch when they added more Fire Emblem characters and more characters were basically clones. Like, okay, we're acknowledging that they're clones now, alright, people? It's just a different skin with some mechanical tweaks here and there, alright? This is not replacing a different character. But, anyway, Smash 4 had 58 characters. Like, the idea of perfectly balancing the strengths and weaknesses of 58 characters in relation to all the other characters is absolutely daunting. Is absolutely daunting. Now, saying that, I do have my issues with some characters. Cloud. Excuse me. I don't know what that was, but I do have my issues with some characters, and Bayonetta as well. That was kind of unacceptable. There are things that were kind of egregious, but at the end of the day, like, you can only balance them so much. You can only balance them so much. Keeping them within the spirit of their own game, their fighting tactics, all these, microscopic adjustments that you can make forever and ever and ever, and still not even close to approach a situation where a tier list would not even be viable, just because everybody's at the same. If utilized correctly, everybody is pretty much on an even playing field. You just can't do that unless you spend all your time for like years and years and years and years and years just trying to balance absolutely every aspect of the game to make it so everybody is as fair as possible. So I don't envy that task. Not really. And this game is going to have even more characters. Like, how many characters have been announced so far? Like, let me just do a quick search. What's my character list and everything? I'm a Eurogamer right now. I never go on these sites unless I'm looking for a particular piece of information that I never actually get. Okay, they're numbered. So let me just scroll down to the bottom here. So we're at 67 characters. No way that's gonna be all of them. Like, we still have months and months and months. Well, okay, not months and months and months. We only have August, September, October, November. Yeah, four-ish months until the game drops. And all of our wallets drop with it. But yeah, like, just adding more characters and doing all these things, and it's just, I don't blame him for being done, I guess. I don't blame Sakurai for being done at this point. Because he has poured so much into this series, man. He's poured so much into this series. It's been 19 goddamn years. Yeah, 19 years. I can do math. It's been 19 years since all of this began. Not that he's been working on this non-stop for 19 years, but this is what he's going to be remembered for. I feel that and Kirby, but I feel like this is bigger than Kirby has ever been and where it will ever be. You can't really disparage that too. I wouldn't be bitter about that if I were the creator of Kirby, because like, you take Smash Bros has all the fans of, okay, not all the fans, but all the fans of Kirby who enjoy fighting games, but also it's just this conglomerate of all Nintendo fans basically. Who enjoy this particular type of game in some way. So, you might have a Metroid fan who has never even dreamed of taking on a Kirby game. Never dreamed. Not that it would be difficult for a Metroid aficionado to handle a Kirby game. Like, my carpet could handle a Kirby game. But, that just... It takes all those Metroid people and all the Kirby people who like fighting games and puts them together. But it takes all the Mario people and all the Metroid people and all the Kirby people who enjoy fighting games. And now it's the Star Fox people and the Mario people and the Metroid people and the Zelda people and the Kid Icarus people and the Ice Climbers people. Where the hell game there? I think it's just called Ice Climbers. Yeah, that's it. And the Earthbound people and the fucking Fire Emblem, so many Fire Emblem characters, goddamn. But all these people from all these different gaming franchises coming together. It's no wonder that just the base of people who will participate in this game is just so incredibly large compared to just the individual fan bases of each constituent franchise. So I wouldn't be bitter about that at all. But because of that, this is probably Sakurai's This is going to be his magnum opus. I'm relatively certain this is going to be his magnum opus. Unless he comes up with some fucking Kirby game that just blows everybody's mind. Which, Kirby sucks, he doesn't blow, so I don't know how that's gonna... I don't know how that's gonna... How that would work, physically. But, Kirby can only do so much, I feel, in terms of the game landscape. It's a good franchise. I like Kirby a lot. I played, some. I haven't played most of the recent ones. In fact, the most recent one I really played was Return to Dreamland, which was a while ago. I played a demo for the Star Allies. I couldn't really justify spending $60 on it because I don't think the gimmick is that. It's not worth $60 to me. The whole Friends gimmick, I don't think it's not really worth $60 for me. That doesn't make it a bad game. What I played, I enjoyed. I just, I could not bring myself to spend $60. So I can run around with the Freezy Snowman guy. And everybody's so happy and friendship, that's the thing. Real talk. In the real world, if you were traveling around with 3 of your friends and you had to perform tasks that, sometimes you eat them and then spit them into the air, or sometimes everybody has to pull switches at a certain time, in a certain way. There's no way you would get through that entire adventure with peace intact. There's no way. I don't buy that. Somebody would fuck up, and then everybody would get mad at everybody else, and then Kirby would just eat all of them. Because, let's be real, Kirby wins that fight. Let's think about this for a second. In a regular adventure, Kirby goes and Kirby kills hundreds, if not thousands, of the same monsters that he's traveling around with in Star Allies. Hundreds to thousands of them. You think you can't take 3? Shit, you can just eat them. Which is why, I liked it better in, Return to Dreamland. Where the only one Kirby could defeat in a fight without effort, probably Wild E. And, he has a pointy stick, so it was fine. Just poke him. Just poke him with your pointy stick. Anyway, I'm off track now. Back to Smash Brothers, but I've been talking for 27 minutes. So, I guess I'm excited. I probably should have mentioned that earlier in this little PixelCast. Yeah, I'm gonna call it PixelCast. I don't give a shit. I'm gonna call it PixelCast. But I'm pretty down. I'm pretty hype. I'm not massively hyped up though. And honestly, I'm not really sure why. I think it might have to do with the similarities. In my head, if I reason it out, I know that, this is a kind of more of a new thing. It's less of a port and more of this, completely new thing. But since it looks so similar at first glance, and this is just the same thing we already got. And I know that, again, I've explained why I don't think that's explicitly true, but, just excitedness, it's more of a knee-jerk thing for me. I don't usually think about something in order to conclude that I'm excited about it. When I saw the Metroid Prime 4 little teaser thing, I got excited for that. Because it's been way too goddamn long. And I like Prime 3 a lot. I'm actually going to play that soon. I'm actually going to record that soon. And now that I've said it, I have to do it. Lucky me. But anyway, I like Prime 3, so it's not a problem. But anyway, I got legitimately excited for that. If a new Paper Mario, a real Paper Mario game, an actual Paper Mario game came out, or was slated to come out, I'd be legitimately excited for that as well. But that's a topic for another cast. That's a topic for another PixelCast. At any rate, but for this one, I'm gonna get it. There's no way I'm not getting it. Like shit, we still have to settle in Smash. We still have to settle in Smash, the PixelCom squad, and I think we should do it in Ultimate, because we probably already all lost our copies of Smash 4 anyway. but the point is, it looks so much the same that I don't get that like hype, that primal hype feeling, I guess. But I am definitely looking forward to it, and I'm looking forward to what new characters they're going to add. I'm pretty much happy on that front, though, right? Because again, I want Banjo-Kazooie, but I don't really have my hopes up so much for that. I would like Waluigi just to round out the Mario roster. And it's not like he doesn't have enough material to make, moves out of. If all he's appeared in are, sports-based games and Mario Party and whatnot, just make moves based around sports-based games and Mario. And that's not original. I didn't come up with that. I saw somebody on Reddit or something mention that. I'm like, yeah, that's a good idea. Why the hell isn't he doing that? But yeah, some people want Shovel Knight. I've never actually played Shovel Knight, so I don't care too much about that. Again, like I said, I would like Tails. I would like Tails to be around, but not explicitly required. They probably had to try really hard to get Sonic in the first place. Yeah, I don't. That's another thing. Licensing. Jesus Christ, I would not want I would not want Sakurai's position of trying to talk to other gaming companies and figure out how or what their what their price is for getting these game characters, right? Because you gotta talk to things like Capcom. I don't know too much about Capcom. But I know they're sitting on Mega Man, and they're not really doing very much with him right now, to the point where they're, the main Mega Man creator just up and left. They made Mighty Number 9. That was kind of a train wreck. We did that playthrough. We all know the deal with that. But the fact is, I would be so surprised if, getting the rights to these other game characters was anything less than a nightmarish headache. I would not want to be on that logistics team. I wonder if Sakurai makes the calls himself. It's like, hey, I'm Sakurai, only in Japanese. Hey, I'm Sakurai, and I want to use your game character for my new Smash Bros. Game. So can you hook me up? I'm willing to pay you some money. Nintendo has a lot of money that we'd like to pay you. And then he goes, yeah, sure, whatever. And which, it kind of makes me hopeful for Banjo and Kazooie, because I think Microsoft expressed that they would be happy to include Banjo and Kazooie in a Smash Bros. Game if they were asked to do so. That said, Banjo and Kazooie aren't really a huge part of Nintendo's history. They're more of a rare icon. But even that doesn't really matter, because clearly Snake isn't a part of Nintendo history at all. And he's in it, although he's probably, actually that's an interesting thought. Is Metal Gear more popular than Banjo and Kazooie? My estimation just says yes, kind of off the bat, simply because there have been more, I guess. Now I don't want to misspeak here, because again I haven't played too many Metal Gear games. So I don't know their quality off the top of my head. But at the end of the day, there were only 2 real Banjo games. And there are 5 or 6 Metal Gear games that are all highly involved and made by the same creator dude. And I'm not counting Ukulele, by the way. I'm not counting that. They're different characters anyway. So if they include Ukulele and not Banjo and Kazooie, that would be odd. That would be odd indeed. It might be easier for them to get Ukulele because Rare doesn't own them. But again, Microsoft said that they wouldn't have a problem with it. I think they said that, so I don't think it would be that big a deal. I'm certain that the people who made Ukulele, I can't remember the name of their company right now, but I'm certain that they would absolutely charge less for Ukulele than Microsoft would charge for Banjo and Kazooie. But that's neither here nor there. But like, I guess it would have to go into what are Sakurai's qualifications in his head for including a character. Because Ridley, that's a pretty big that's a pretty big case study. Because for the longest time, it was like, people stop fucking asking for Ridley, man. He's too damn big. And it's interesting because I remember one time I had a friend and we were playing Super Smash Bros. Melee together for the first time, and he had never seen the intro. And the part when Samus is fighting Ridley, my friend goes, "Damn!" Well, he didn't say damn. We were like 5. No, we weren't 5. We were like, I don't know, like 10. How old was I in 2001? Yeah, I was like 10. So we were like 9 or 10. And he's like, "I want to play as the dragon thing." I'm like, "You can't play as the dragon thing." I wish I had said he's too big. just so I would have that little history. But I knew he wasn't the character. I'm like, "You can't be the dragon." But that, speaks volumes about the appeal of Ridley. And I'm not sure how long he's known people wanted Ridley. I'd say at least Brawl and Smash 4, he was aware that people wanted Ridley. And in Brawl, Ridley was a boss. So, that was probably his justification for not including Ridley as a character there. And Smash 4, when he was a boss, he was really big. And, can't have that. And so I'll make him... Because he's so big, I will make him a stage hazard. So he did. And I was like, fuck it! I'll put him in! So you stop bitching. Jesus Christ. People, come on. He's just a dragon raptor. It's not that cool. God. But, that's probably what went through his head. But because of that, clearly, audience appeal has a lot to do with it. Probably, most likely, audience appeal has very much to do with it. Other things are, can I think of moves from the games that, I would make sense in a Smash Bros. Game that I can include. Then there are the logistics of, character animations and things like that. And then, there are the actual getting the damn rights to the character in the first place. So, Brawl only had, 2 characters like that. And then, once I had some experience with it, they kind of went overboard with not so much overboard. They went more all out, I guess, with... Well, let's think about that for a minute, because in Smash 4, they did not have Snake. They still had Sonic. They had Cloud. They owned the rights to Bayonetta, I think. Because, they exclusively made the second game, so I don't think Bayonetta was an issue. Other than that, I'm not really sure if there were any other I'm probably missing something, and I don't feel like looking at a roster to figure it out, but I don't think there were that many characters where they would have to jump through a lot of, administrative, logistical hoops in order to include the character in the game. So clearly for those types of characters, though, the audience appeal has to be there, because he pretty much used Snake and Sonic as a marketing tool for Brawl, and he didn't use Cloud so much as that for Smash 4. Although he was DLC and you do have to pay for him, so they probably all these people like Final Fantasy 7. I'm gonna put Cloud in, then we're gonna make lots of monies. I don't think he would have included those characters at all if, he didn't think there was a market for them. And all these Fire Emblem characters as well. I think I have a hard time, coming to the conclusion that isn't something but, we have a bunch of Fire Emblem games coming out. Let's put a bunch of Fire Emblem game characters in this game. And, they're... I don't know if they're easy to implement per se, because, only, like, Lucina, Marth, and Roy were pretty similar in terms of mechanics. And Roy had his own distinctions. Robin and Crawl... No, Corrin! That's it, Corrin! Not Crawl. Robin and Corrin were, completely, totally distinct. And were there any other Fire Emblem characters? I don't think so. But of course they're going to add another one. But he's an Echo Fighter, so it's fine, I guess. But at any rate... Oh, Ike! I forgot Ike. How can I forget Ike? We like Ike. We like him. I don't know how I forgot. But yeah, he's distinct. So, it's not so much of an easy thing, like a copy-paste type deal with all the Fire Emblem characters that they created. Which to me means, okay, like, obviously they had some type of motivation for wanting to include all of these Fire Emblem characters, and I think it absolutely had to do with the timing of some games dropping. And Melee was how I figured out that Marth and Roy were a thing in the first place, as I'm sure it's the case for many people in the U.S., because, like, I don't know who Marth was, I don't know who Roy was, I didn't know anything about Fire Emblem. I was like, okay, cool sword dude. Whatever, he's speaking Japanese. I can't understand what he's saying, but I can slash fools. Whatever. So I feel like that, introduced a lot of people to Fire Emblem in a certain way. So, Sakurai probably went, hey! Let's do that again. So he did. And, I think Fire Emblem and maybe Mother were, some of the only franchises in there where people's main background in those games was kind of more sparse in the US and Europe, just because the games hadn't been released there, or the franchises hadn't been released there for a long time. I could be wrong about that. I'm not really thinking about it too hard. I'm not going to go through every single franchise that's represented as a character in Smash Brothers. Excuse me. But I know for a I know for a fact that Fire Emblem, has had a lot more games released in Japan than here. And, had them released sooner as well. So they probably want to expand that market a little bit, especially because, they might have realized that there is a market now. So they're like, okay, a lot of people don't know too much about Fire Emblem. We kind of have to play catch-up a little bit. Let's put a lot of Fire Emblem characters, and maybe if they look cool enough, people will look them up on Fire Emblem wikis, and then they'll want to play our games. Even though it's a completely different game style. It's more like Advance Wars or something than any type of fighting game. But yeah, that probably has something to do with it too. And I like to think Sakurai is, he cares. I like to think he cares about his fans too. So, fan appeal is one thing, but I just want to do these guys a favor. I think that has something to do with whether or not he's going to include a character as well. But Sakurai, could you do me a favor? Put in Banjo-Kazooie? I really want Banjo-Kazooie. I really, really do. But yeah. Let's see. Oh! I was gonna stop talking, but there was something else I wanted to talk about, which was like some of the new mechanics that are in the game in that so Final Smash charging. Apparently now you can charge a weaker version of your Final Smash, and I like that. I like that a lot. Why do I like that? I like that because it means that Cloud is less special. Alright, I know I'm doing a lot of Cloud hate. You can hate on me all you want. I don't like Cloud. There's no way I'm going to like Cloud as he was when he first came out in Smash 4. He ruined for glory for me. I main Yoshi. I said that. He's a really, really bad matchup, and I couldn't play anyone else at the level I would need to play to contend with all the fucking Clouds that were on for Glory, so I do not like Cloud. And one of the reasons I do not like Cloud is because of his stupid limit mechanic. I do not like that. Now, if everybody has a stupid limit mechanic type thing, I think that can only be good news. That's the first thing I thought of when I saw that. I'm like, oh, okay, now I can do it too, bitch! Okay, alright, sorry, that's a little out of line, that was a little bitter, okay? I'm the positive member of this group, that's not true, I complain a lot, but in any case, I do like that mechanic. And, you can probably turn it off anyway, so, whatever. It's fine. I like the, the squad battles or something, where you have to, choose just a list of characters, and then you play through all of those. I like that. I like they're getting really creative with adjusting fighting parameters and things like that. I thought it was really cool how, you can have a bunch of fights where you choose a character and then that character is not available again. Like, that will get people to, try to get good with a lot of different characters, or just, have a good time. Now, I saw a Reddit post recently. It was like Smash Bros. Chaos mode, where you name everybody's CPU, you turn off the color on your television, and you choose the same character. I want to do that, but I do not have enough friends to do that. So here we are. But one day, if I ever have a party, that's happening. Maybe I can do it. I'm actually gonna host Christmas for my fiance's family this year. So, most of them are like significantly older than I am, or significantly younger than I am. So I wonder what would happen if I pulled out Smash. None of them are gamers. Well, that's not true. Like 2 of them are gamers. So, I'm already kind of the odd one out with that crowd. I like them a lot. Not to say I love my fiance's family. That's not the issue. They're just not very gaming people. But in any case, yeah, I like that mechanic, and I'm excited to find out what more the game has to offer. I did see somebody raise one thing where they said that they don't want all the characters to be revealed before the game comes out because they want some mystery, I guess. I can get behind that. Back in 2001, I didn't fucking know that Falco was going to be in some Melee or whatever other characters they had to unlock. I never played anyone besides Falco. I played Mario in the Smash 64 and maybe a little Fox, but Falco all the way for Melee, and I was really good with him, and I found out that, everybody's pretty much really good with Falco, because Falco's a really good character, and I got a little sad, because I'm one of those people who makes things difficult for myself, and tries to main characters that take a little, I guess, more work to do well with, like, in Splatoon, I main the Charger. It's one of the hardest weapons to be good with, and I'm still not good with it. So there we are. I don't know what. Maybe I'm a masochist or whatever. Maybe I'm a masochist, but I do main Yoshi though in Smash 4, and Yoshi's not bad. No, Yoshi's closer to the top than he is to the bottom. He's not like S tier or anything, but he's up there. But at any rate, Falco and Yoshi just match my general fighting style, but unlocking characters is cool. Unlocking things you don't know you're gonna get is pretty cool. Now, the issue with that is mostly we're in the age of the internet, and I feel like this might be Sakurai's logic. Like, okay, I could put things in the game that people don't necessarily know about out of the bat, and then somebody's going to unlock it, and then somebody's going to post a YouTube video saying that they unlocked it, and they're probably going to put in the thumbnail, and now overnight everybody's going to know that's a character, right? So, because of the internet. So I might as well just put everything at the forefront because at least then I can control the exposure and control how it works. I can make a little animation where I kill an iconic character like Mario and Luigi, and then reveal who either killed them or who is going to avenge them. Oh man, Sakurai is getting a lot more violent. He's getting a lot more violent. But yeah. So those are my thoughts on Smash 4. Not Smash 4. Smash 5 now. I'm probably just gonna number them. Those are my thoughts. Take them or leave them. Having a discussion in the comments would make me happy. If you disagree or you agree with something, I'd be happy to talk about it with you. I hope no ill will to anybody who has a differing opinion on this sort of thing. I'm probably going to have a ton more thoughts after I sign off here, but it is what it is. So maybe I'll type my own comments. I'll be one of those people whose first comment is something on the video he made, but whatever. Yeah, I hope you enjoyed this little PixelCast, PixelCast. Yeah, I'm gonna call it PixelCast. Look forward to, if I just feel like talking about something, I'm gonna do one of these. And if you let me know if you like it or you dislike it, you just don't want to hear my voice at all whatsoever, I wouldn't blame you. I have a pretty annoying laugh. But whatever. So I hope you guys have a good day or night or wherever time that you are listening to this. And be well. And I don't have an outro. I realize I have a greetings esteemed viewers intro, but I don't have an outro. Greetings. What's the opposite of greetings? Fuck off, esteemed viewers. No, that's not it. All right. Goodbye. Have a good night, guys. I'll talk to you later, or I'll see you later. I'll talk at you later, or you'll listen to my voice later. One of those things. Have a good one.